Security configurations for Azure SQL Database should be implemented as part of the deployment process, not as an afterthought. Many security elements, if missed initially, can be complex and time consuming to fix later. To avoid such challenges, we will integrate security focused steps directly into the deployment workflow. This ensures that your Azure SQL environment is secure from day one. To get started, simply search for SQL databases in the Azure portal's search bar and click on Create SQL Database. One important setting on the screen is the server option. If you don't already have a SQL server to host your database, no worries, you can easily create one by clicking Create New. This step is crucial because every SQL database in Azure must be hosted on a logical server. You are required to provide a unique name for the SQL server. Azure appends .database.windows.net to this name to form the fully qualified server name. Choose the Azure region where this server will be hosted. Authentication section is most important from security standpoint. This section controls how user authenticate to the SQL server. Authentication method has three options. First one is use Microsoft Entra only authentication. This option is the most secure and modern option. No need for SQL logins. You use Entra ID identity in this case. Second option is use both SQL and Microsoft Entra authentication. This option allows flexibility. You can use SQL login for legacy apps and Entra ID for secure modern access. And the third option is use SQL authentication, which indicates traditional username type of the password access. This is less secure option and usually should be avoided if possible. Set Microsoft Entra admin option sets a specific user as the Entra ID administrator for the SQL server. This user will have full administrative rights via Entra authentication. So this is the time during deployment you set both the required option. Once correct options are set, click OK. We are back to the first screen now. Other options you choose based on your requirement. Now click Next. This screen shows the networking tab. It defines how your database can be accessed over the network, how connections are handled, and the encryption settings. From security standpoint, these settings are most important as well. Connectivity method option has three choices. No access means completely blocks all external access. This is useful for isolated or internal testing. If you select public endpoint, this makes your SQL database accessible over the internet, and this is not recommended. And if you select private endpoint, this will use a private IP address within your Azure virtual network. This is the most secure and ideal for production. Connection policy option controls how client connect to your SQL server. If selected default, inside Azure it uses redirect, which is faster and efficient, and outside Azure it uses proxy for secure, consistent access. If selected proxy means all traffic routes through Azure SQL gateways, which will add some latency. And if selected redirect means clients connect directly to the database node. It is fastest but may require firewall and client config. DB server will enforce encryption using TLS, which is transport layer security. Using minimum TLS version option, you can choose the lowest TLS version allowed. Of course, best practice is to select TLS 1.2 or higher to meet security standards. Click Next now. This is the Security tab. It focuses on enabling advanced security features for your SQL database. Let's park Microsoft Defender for SQL. We will address that in Defender for Cloud sections. Ledger provides tamper evidence for your database. It ensures data integrity by cryptographically recording changes. This is ideal for audit trails or compliance. Currently, it is not configured. You can enable it later if required. Server identity allows integration with managed identities, such as user assign or system assign. It will enable secure, centralized identity management for your database to interact with other Azure services without credentials. It's always good to select this option during deployment. There is no harm. Transparent data encryption key management encrypts the database backups and locks at rest automatically. You can choose a Microsoft managed key or a customer managed key using Azure Key Vault. Always encrypted ensures sensitive data stays encrypted, not just at rest, but during use as well, even to DPH. It protects against insider threats. You can toggle secure enclaves, which is a hardware-based secure execution environment if needed, based on your security needs also. This screen is the additional setting tab. It allows you to customize advanced configuration details before final deployment. Let's keep everything as it is. Click Review plus Create. Only after the deployment of Azure SQL Database, you can see dynamic data masking options available under the security. This option is not available during deployment. Click Add Mask at the top to define a new masking rule. This is where masking rules can be added. Select what to mask. Choose the schema where table resides. Then you select the table within that schema. Pick the specific column you want to apply the mask to, and this is where you choose the masking format. Azure provides several predefined formats as shown. There are several other options available under the setting menu, such as auditing and data protection, which you might often use. In addition to all other security settings, you must ensure that there is a diagnostic setting added so that it can be monitored for the security events by the security team. Click on the Overview menu option now. On the Overview, click on Server Name. If you need to adjust network related settings, it's important to do this at the SQL server level, not on the database itself. By default, public network access is disabled for security reasons. To enable control access, select the selected network option and make sure you have configured a service endpoint on the appropriate subnet in your virtual network, or use private endpoint for even tighter control. This ensures your SQL server is accessible only from trusted network path, which will help you to stay secure and compliant. That's all for now from security standpoint for the SQL database.